All right, everybody, welcome to the Mangalorian, where we go back and dissect the original Dragon Ball manga written by Mr. Toriyama, who is no longer with us, unfortunately, but we can still represent his work. I'm Danny. Geekdom 101 is the channel, even though that's my label there, and I have Jordan over here from Jordan the Dragon Lee, the
What's up,
Wukong
guys?
guy. Yeah, so we're going to go into manga volume 11, which starts with chapter 124. Last week, we started the 22nd tournament and we got through all the first round fights. This week, with volume 11, it's going to be all of the semifinals and the finals. So we're going to be done with the 22nd tournament with this arc, and then it's going to go right into the Piccolo arc. Now, when the full colors were released for original Dragon Ball, they came out digitally in Japan first, then they came out physically. In America, only 2 arcs of Z came out. They didn't even go back and do the original Dragon Ball, the real start of the story. So the way they organized it was like the childhood arc, which is like the Pilaf arc, all the way to like the red ribbon arc, then the red ribbon arc, which included the Baba arc. Then for some reason the 22nd tournament includes the Piccolo Daimao saga. It doesn't matter like how you split up the arcs, that's just how it is. So I hope you're having a good day today. You ready to dive into this thing, bro?
I am, man.
All right, let's see here.
I was playing Black Myth earlier today.
I saw that early on the channel.
Yeah.
That was like this morning. All right. Here we go. The hardest not that long too, so that's good as well. Talk about Black Myth.
Yeah, it's not too bad from what I've heard.
Well, today's gonna be a pretty speedy day, I think, because it's gonna be a speedy day because most of this stuff we're covering is fights, and this is the part in Dragon Ball where the tonal shift does slightly begin here, not entirely, but it continues because now with these semifinals going into the finals and these last 3 fights, it's the first time in Dragon Ball we've ever had 3 continuous back and forth competitive fights. If you notice, prior to this in Dragon Ball, they were almost all squash matches with 1 or 2 competitive fights surrounding them. Here, we're going to have 3 competitive fights. And I like that. I am a big fan of that. And now Toriyama really got comfortable during this era drawing like he got really good really fast at doing fight scenes. Do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, I think that every time Toriyama had to do a tournament arc, it sort of like fueled him to like be more innovative, and you can definitely see it in this arc particularly.
Yeah, also people last time were saying that they wanted us to read it right to left, and I did do a poll in the community tab as promised. So we are going to do right to left because they voted on it, so you get what you want. I did say last week I would put up a community poll, and I did, so I'm a man of my word. Yeah, here we go. So huge fan of this, and I'll tell you why, because the old master facing off against the villain and then having it be the good master against the younger villain, that's actually not that uncommon. You know, we kind of sort of see it in Star Wars, the first one where Obi-Wan had a lightsaber duel with Vader. But Obi-Wan was the one that kind of, you know, he went in there knowing he was going to lose and, you know, doing the best that he could.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that this reminds me of Star Wars right before you said that. Like I was literally just about to say that.
Yeah. I mean, it's been done before as well. It's that usually you have the ancient master be like a villainous side usually, but here the master of the main character is going to face off against Ten Shin Han. But what I find interesting too is the booking here, because this is the tournament winner of the first tournament being booked against the next top villain, or at least the one from this arc. So this whole thing is all being done to prove something, to make a point. There was a point to this. Ikem Ubu, would you ever change your profile picture to Black Frieza? Possibly. I possibly would. So a lot of this, see, now here's the thing though. So he's about to face off against the master of the turtle school, but he's not like, he doesn't know that. Like, nobody knows that Jackie Chun is Master Roshi except for a small number of people. And it's interesting because, not even Goku knows it, but by the end of this tournament, he would have 3 matches with 3 different members of the Turtle School. So here is we're doing right to left. We're doing right to left. So the fight immediately begins with him busting out the Taioken, aka the solar flare. Now, in the anime version, there was some hand-to-hand combat first, then the solar flare, but he does, and really the technique is called Taioken, just means sun fist or sun attack, and it's made to blind Roshi. And then as that happens, Ten Shin Han comes up from behind him and gives him a devastating knee to the back of the neck, dude. This knee is brutal. But Jackie,
Yeah, they all thought that they killed him. Like they all thought that Tien killed him.
Yeah. I mean, the announcers saw that he was down, started doing the count, but he gets up at 5, and here's the beginning of. There's a big character moment here. I want to really focus on these character moments because they're very important. We did discuss them when we were doing these episodes on the Twitch streams on Saturday, but he's like, "This can't be. Who the hell are you? That level of technique. Why don't you just use the just path, aka the good path? Why do you walk in evil? Your skills cry out. Cut your ties with Sudu Senin." It's weird that they call him Tien. Look at this. In the chapter page, it says young Tien, but in the fucking episode, they do that stupid fucking Tien Zing Zang or whatever the fuck spelling. It's like there's 2 different translators or something, bro.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure one of these people is using like partially Chinese terms for some reason. I don't know why,
but can you be consistent at least?
Yeah, for real.
So what's happening here is Roshi is trying to convince Ten Shin Han that he's a very talented martial artist. Why is he using those martial arts skills for evil when they can be used for good? So
yeah, and it's funny because like he's like, you're using a technique based around light, and that's the reason that he's like trying to bring him to the light side of the force because
that is not how I interpreted it. I thought he just saw.
Well, he says up here, look, if you look up, he says up here.
Oh, that part, yeah. Break the path of easy and travel into the world filled with sunlight. Yeah, but it is a weird coincidence that he said that. I just never thought that the sunlight was a reference to him doing the sun fist.
Yeah, he literally references the technique as like, he basically says that with that level of technique, why don't you be just? He's basically saying he's almost like calling it like a holy technique in a sense, because he's like, if you're using that level of technique, why aren't you a good guy? Essentially,
Right. So. Right. I mean, this whole thing is him trying to convince Ten Shin Han that he's walking down the wrong path. So, and this is where Suru Senin realizes that that's actually Kame Senin. So again, it's one of those jokes where it seems like everybody on Earth knows it's Roshi except Goku. It's kind of like the Clark Kent thing, how when we see, or like Serena, aka Usagi in Sailor Moon, she looks just like Sailor Moon, but nobody can tell it's her. It's like a stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate it. It is stupid, but it's also a trope. It's kind of giving off those kinds of vibes. Now, this was this is a moment that I think a lot of Dragon Ball fans don't remember, or like we rant about all the time, they never watched Dragon Ball or read the original manga, right?
Right.
Yes, Ten Shin Han does a Kamehameha. He was not trained by the Turtle School, But like Goku, he's such a talented martial artist that he learned how to do it just by watching it. Now, the thing that's crazy is the Kamehameha. Tien Shinhan's not the last guy to do this. Majin Buu learned it by seeing it once. Like, this is we don't know how many times Gohan saw it before he did it, but it wasn't that hard either. The Kamehameha seems to be a very simple technique to learn, whereas other techniques like the Kaioken later on would prove to be very difficult. But the Kamehameha is easy to learn, but it's still shocking that somebody used the Kamehameha who's not trained by Roshi.
Yeah, and it's almost like he just he's like Goku in the sense that he just learned it by seeing it. He's like that level of a prodigy.
People have never seen who have never read Dragon Ball are like, wait a minute, he can do a Kamehameha? So Tien does a Kamehameha? No way, I never knew that.
Maybe I never saw him do it in the video games, man.
You know what? That's a good point. I don't think he ever got the move in the video games, and it's one of his moves.
Mm-hmm.
He only does it once here.
Right.
But that's weird that he didn't. It's still one of his moves.
It is.
And I'm a big fan of this art, by the way. Big blast.
And if they did give him it, for the record, if they did give it to him in the video games, it'd be really cool if it was yellow like this.
Well, it should have been. It's just weird because there's been a lot of video games throughout history. And, okay, so Xavier says that in Xenoverse 2 he has it.
And
he says Yamcha did the Kamehameha too. Yes, Killmonger. I understand that Yamcha did the Kamehameha. He also trained with Roshi. If you listen to what I just said, I said Tien Shinhan did not train with Roshi, and thus he should not know how to use the Kamehameha. But he does know how to use the Kamehameha because he saw it. Bringing up Yamcha, I don't understand what the point of that is, except that you forgot that Yamcha trained with Roshi. That's we talked about that already, and he became a better fighter because of it. But he still wasn't stronger than Tien Shinhan. So Xavier says that in Xenoverse 1 they gave Yamcha and Krillin the Kaioken. I actually do remember a couple of the games doing that, but they never use it in the manga or in the show. So Roshi deflects it, right? Saving his life. And look at this. The Gene fan of the Suru Senin Full with Fire Kamehameha. Gene fan of the, I don't know, bro. Chinese, like you said. So, it's funny because look at what Roshi says here. I want to take a moment to take a quote out here. He says, I'm so happy I'm getting the shivers, walk the path of light, and become truly great. I love that Roshi says, I'm so happy I'm getting the shivers. Now, the reason why this is important is because he's not a Saiyan. He's not of the fighting race. Because prior to Toriyama coming up with the idea of an alien race that loves to fight, people that love to fight were just competitive martial artists, which is what Goku was. So if Dragon Ball had continued without Goku being revealed as an alien, and he just had adventures fighting villains with the martial arts, he would still be a guy who wants to fight because that's who Goku is. It's not that the Saiyans is what Goku's based off of. Toriyama created the Saiyans to kind of explain Goku's battle hunger, but in reality, Goku's battle hunger was fighting because he's a martial artist.
Yeah, and because of Sun Wukong. But they expand on this a little bit later on in the next tournament whenever Goku explains that he has the pride of a martial artist. And we'll talk about it more then.
Yeah. Now at this point, Roshi steps out of the ring, and therefore Tien Shinhan wins because Roshi got a ring out. And it's because Roshi realizes that Tien Shinhan is a very powerful martial artist, and younger people than him are starting to appear that are stronger than him. So he's decided to kind of pass the torch. Now, I will say this, though. I am not a fan. I am not a fan of how the manga did this. The anime was much better because in the anime, the fight with Roshi and Tien Shinhan is 2 full episodes, or maybe an episode and a half. And there's a lot more combat. There's a lot more back and forth. A lot more. It's just done much better. This is another example of why filler, if done right, can be better. And every Dragon Ball fight has filler. Yes, that includes Kai for the anime. But here it's crucial because I don't like this, man. I think it makes more sense how the anime did it when Roshi was in there longer and got to really sense Tenshin Han's power.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it definitely they definitely jumped through it in the manga, and the fluff in the anime makes it a lot more enjoyable and satisfiable. But yeah, I understand. Yeah,
No, yeah, I'm just saying that I like the anime version better. Like this, it would just make more sense. You know, he lost on purpose, and Tenshin Han, and then he still hadn't brought out his full power. So this is where the debates about did Tenshin Han actually surpass Roshi? I believe that he did. We answered this last week, but we did not see him at full power. This is true. So that's why people still think that it's possible Roshi could have eked out a win. He definitely had more experience.
right, for sure.
Nicholas said we can say anime is more realistic than manga. No, that's not what's going on, dude. It's
No,
not about what's more realistic. I don't know where you're getting that from. It's
more
about
so, it's
which
just entertaining and satisfying.
it's more about which of the two I like more on a personal level. It has nothing to do with realism at all, dude. So let's see here. Retro Mint Man says, just showing my support. Thank you for the years of dedicated content. Thank you, bro. 10 years and counting. Okay. So again, Roshi / Jackie Chun is all happy because the next generation is coming up. Then we have chapter 125, Son Goku versus Kuririn. Them on their little fucking Return
They're
of the
wearing
Jedi.
Yamcha's outfit with
the
wearing
the
Yamcha's
desert
outfit with
the Desert Bandit. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, the Desert Bandit. And now it's going to be Goku versus Kuririn / Krillin with fight number 6, as you can see right here. They're just going to go right into it, yo. And this is the first time they've ever fought each other on screen, not including the training stuff. I really like their relationship. And this is one of those times where we're seeing two guys fight each other that have a tremendous amount of respect and friendship. And we would see something like that later. I think a good example of like a more modern version would be Goten and Trunks at the tournament in Z. You know, they're friends, but they're fighting each other. So,
Right.
yeah. And Krillin here says, I won't hold back because I'll resent it for the rest of my life. Oh, hold on. Let me zoom out here. I forgot we're doing right to left now. And then over here, we have more of that conversation where Roshi is talking to him. Why would Muten Roshi, of all people, go through the trouble of disguising himself to enter the tournament? It's simple for my pupils. It looked like one of them must actually win the Tenkaichi Budokai. They'd be thrilled thinking they were strongest in the world, and then they'd lose all further ambition. Young people often fall into that trap. Yeah, in other words, he doesn't want Goku and Krillin to get lazy with their training. Of course, there would be more challenges later on that would change things. So, and this is where the match is going to begin between Goku and Krillin. Let's take this super chat right here. Xavier says, rate Tien's techniques from your least to favorite. Solar Flare, Dodon Ray, Dodon Pa, volleyball technique, a tri-beam, Neo tri-beam. You're missing a lot of them, bro. Are you?
Yeah.
Did
There's
you
a
want
lot
us
of
to?
techniques there.
Yeah, did you want us
Tien
to
has a
rate?
lot. You know what? We could just take the time to acknowledge, since she made this comment.
Mhm.
Tien has a lot of techniques. Like, he
Yes.
really does for a character. Like, he has a lot of techniques. Like,
He has his own version of the multiform technique. He has a technique where the arms pop out of his back.
mhm.
And that's a technique that, according to Toriyama, he learned or he got from his alien race, not something that you can learn. So as far as the ranking them go, I like all of them. I think that my favorite technique that he does is probably Solar Flare / Taioken, because it's actually really useful. And if you're going up against somebody who's strong, you use that move, they're gonna be blinded temporarily if they don't see it coming, if it hits them, and that's super useful if you ask me. What do you think?
I think the Kikoho might be my favorite.
That's
I
the
think,
tri-beam, but really it's called Kikoho. You should
yeah,
know better than to use dub terms, Xavier, but I'm gonna let it slide this time. No,
but
go ahead.
I think it's because it's more heavily associated with Tien. Not that the solar flare is not that it's not so.
Everyone else uses it too. Everybody else learned
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It's just that like it's always been something that like they associate with Tien, so that's probably the reason I like it the most. Because when I think of it, I think of him. You know.
Yes. No, and he wrote that Piccolo does the multiform as well as Krillin. Yeah, but other people do solar flare too. Like it's a lot of people use Taiyoken. Even Cell used it, bro.
Yeah, I remember that.
Cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cell used it. We'll get to that chapter at some point. So, all of this is being done for him to learn. And why does it say here Tao Bye Bye San? These
I don't
names are,
know, dude.
I don't know, this translation's weird, but the whole point here is that he's starting to see Roshi's
Yeah, and
teachings.
this whole idea of Tien wanting to be the greatest assassin rather than the greatest martial artist is something that people tend to overlook about Tien's character because they kind of do look at him as more of like a competing martial artist against Goku, and he is in a certain sense, but he makes it very clear that his goal is to be the greatest assassin, not the greatest martial artist. And I think that's always made his character more interesting because his goal is inherently different than Goku's on purpose. You know.
I've got to show you this awesome question here. What analysis can you provide about the reason why the solar flare blinds people? Anyways, so I wonder how that works. So here comes Goku and Krillin, right? They're going at it, panel for panel, shot for shot. This is the type of shit I like. Very unique paneling, very just creative stuff, creative, like, blocks, counter strikes, all that good shit. Toriyama's just getting better and better at doing fights. The chop, the backflip, the kick, like, and in the anime, we've talked about this. In the anime, this fight is phenomenal. I mean, there's a gif of them like rolling around fighting that's like a very, very like very popular gif slash meme. And it's great. I mean, it's great. And again, I like how Toriyama just it's a breeze to go through. Like we go
It
through
is.
this
It
very
really is.
quick. Yeah, and it's all attacks, dodges, and blocks. Attacks, dodges, and blocks. Sensei Baba, I just thought I'm going to take the time to briefly stop by and let you know I really enjoy the transformation guide. Well, thanks. Thank you. We have a lot of guides on the channel. We have the technique guide, which actually has the solar flare. The Taiyoken is one of the technique guides, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's also the upcoming cosmology guide. Was Tien the original hit? They have like
I mean, Hit
nothing. They have
is
nothing in common, bro.
no Hit is definitely they do reference Tien whenever Hit fights Goku because Goku he drops out of the ring at the end of the fight exactly like Roshi does whenever they fight Tien. He has to say they're both assassins. So they do like reference each other slightly, but I wouldn't necessarily say that Tien's the original Hit or vice versa.
I wouldn't say that either because the only thing they have in Tien wanted to become an assassin. Hit not only is an assassin, but he's been an assassin for what 1,000 years or something
Yeah,
like that.
the
It was
main
some.
thing I would say they have in common is that they use Goku giving up against Hit to basically reflect Roshi giving up against Tien.
That's what you're talking about, where it's similar.
Yeah, where it's similar, and Hit is an assassin who becomes a martial artist just like Tien, but that's as far as like their commonality goes.
Yeah, that's it. It doesn't go any further than that. They're not.
Yeah,
They're not alike in any other way. So
yeah, exactly.
yeah. Okay. Xavier says solar flare is meant to blind opponents. How effective is it on characters who can sense ki? Like, why couldn't Trunks sense Cell when he used it? Because Cell hid his ki. Remember, Cell would lower his ki and hide it. That's why all of a sudden they start sensing him. For a while they couldn't. B, just because you know how to sense ki. I mean, I thought that I covered this in the technique guide. The link is in the stream right now, so you can go watch the technique guide. even if you know how to sense ki, when somebody hits you with the Taioken and you're blinded, it hurts. It bothers you. You lose focus. Have you ever stared directly at the sun? Try staring. Do me a favor. Try staring directly at the sun when you get a chance and see what happens. I mean,
you
it's
can't
like
concentrate if you get hit with a giant beam of solar radiation.
Yeah. Owl, just go watch the technique guide, bro. It's the only thing you need is to watch that technique guide. I produced that one like it's like a 4-year-old video, maybe older. Might have been a 5-year-old video.
Daisy's taking cover for you. She's like,
yes, I am now responsible for what happens to you if you actually are dumb enough to stare at the sun. Go look at the sun and see what happens, bro. And then you'll know how the solar flare works. If you really want to know how the solar flare works, look directly at the sun. Actually, no. First, watch the technique guide, then stare directly at the sun.
Oh, God.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Watch the technique guide, then stare at the sun. Don't do it backwards, though, because then I might lose out on a view. So do it like that. Anyways, they're taking it to the air. Remember, during this era, it's just high jumping. It's not flying. And actually, here we have another similar thing where the sunlight glares off of Krillin's bald head and Goku has trouble seeing. Not quite the Taioken, but it's enough so that Krillin can hit the Pele kick and rock Goku down to the ground. And then back up again. Goku versus Kuririn Part 2, Chapter 126. So the fight continues, right? Goku is still coming in. Goku's going up with the flying kick, and then Krillin blows himself up like a balloon. Remember in Super Mario World when you grab the balloon and you look just like that? And Mario
gets I do remember that.
Floats up. Yeah. This reminds me of that. Goku goes for a kick. Krillin misses. Again, there's nothing really to analyze here. It's just a good fight. That's what this is. It's a good fight. And Goku, of course, I'm getting excited. I've never had so much fun in a fight. Martial arts shit before he was a Saiyan. And Roshi's over here watching because he knows that there's something special going on. Goku comes in with the offensive, jumps up, fires the Kamehameha in the other direction to use it as a projectile. This would not be the last time he did this. And then he dashes in with a big left hook. That is a Mike Tyson left hook to the grill piece. And then a knee to the gut. I love the eyes popping out, bro. He kind of has a nose there, too. I know that's supposed to be his lip. It's supposed to be his lip, but it's just funny to see that. And he's down. And I like how, look at this look, bro. He's looking at him like he's a piece of shit. That's not right.
Damn, I'm disappointed in your game, bro. Get good.
Yeah, get good. What would you say is Krillin's best fight from Xavier? Let me think for a minute.
That's tough.
It could be this one. It could be Krillin. It could also be Krillin versus Piccolo in the 23rd tournament.
Yeah. That's tough. I had to really think about that. I know this probably will be a controversial thing, but I really like his fight with Goku prior to the Tournament of Power. Whenever he like tricks Goku and like knocks him out of the ring whenever they fight, I actually really love that.
But the Tournament of Power is more like a team thing. I think he means like one.
No, I'm talking about the match prior. Whenever he's trying to recruit.
Oh, with Super Saiyan Blue Goku and everybody lost their mind because they didn't understand how that.
Well, I'm not thinking about that part. I'm thinking about the very end of it. Whenever he tricks Goku and knocks him out using the Destructo disc.
Look at this guy, bro. The technique guide is insufficient. They explain the mechanical, not the spiritual aspects of the techniques. That's code for I've never watched technique guide in my life. Because if you did, you would hear. You know what, bro? I'm not going to give you any more attention because now you're just straight up lying. Like, now you're actually straight up fucking lying. Because if you, like, literally, how many fucking technique guides have I put out where You know what? I'm not gonna talk about this anymore.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
don't
gonna
worry
get
about
mad.
it, bro.
Yeah, dude. You know what, bro? You want a better explanation? Make your own fucking video because, like, I just can't believe he actually said that it's insufficient. You don't talk about the spiritual. It's like, okay, I've never watched one before. Then you didn't even watch it, so
Yeah,
you're
the
not getting.
Tien one. I remember you showed me that in Discord. It's actually one of your most in depth technique guides.
It's just stupid because, like, fuck, bro. Like, get fucked. All right, Justin Sullivan says this fight wrapped up Goku and Krillin's rivalry very well. I guess it did. Yeah, I guess they did kind of get closer. Oh, but we have to also talk about that other. So, which fight do you like more, this one or Krillin and Piccolo? I think it'll probably be this one for me. I can't think of any more one-on-one Krillin fights though, bro. Like it's usually him teaming up with Gohan. You know what I mean? Like him teaming up with Gohan against somebody or him teaming up with Goku.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that many one-on-one
I think
fights.
this fight, because there's so much pressure on Krillin, it really allows him to shine. But I do think that the choreography and stuff by the time he's fighting Piccolo might be a little bit better. But I do love both fights. I think they both have like a little bit of give and take in that way.
Yeah, this one's more like a kung fu movie. That one's more like a Dragon Ball Z fight where you have
Yeah.
flying and you have it's a bit more like that. But the reason why that fight stands out is because that's one of the early fights to do that, and so it was still new at the time.
Right.
By the time you
Exactly.
get to the Cell Saga and the Frieza Saga, everybody's flying around and everybody knows everything, and you know. So I like the fact that Krillin does that quick ass kip up and he wants to fight again. Counterattack. Here we go. He misses with the punch. Goku does the judo chop to the back of the head. Goku isn't even going all out here. And I hate to say that because I'm not trying to bury Krillin here, but I mean, Goku's just a better fighter. I mean,
For sure. Yeah.
But does it mean that Krillin isn't potent? Right here, you have Roshi saying, unbelievable. His abilities already approach the superhuman level. He is a superhuman. And then here comes Krillin doing the Kamehameha. This tournament has like 6 different people that know the Kamehameha, bro. Isn't that weird? Like 6
Yeah.
different people.
It's becoming like a trend. It's funny.
Yeah, well, everybody, it's like the technique of the show. And then Goku here being a fucking badass. Remember when Jiren did this to him many years later?
Yeah, and this is the first time I think that Goku has done this specifically, where he just stops a blast with his hand. I'm pretty sure this is the first time he ever does that.
No, I think this is the first time anybody does that because
Right.
when Tien Han did it, he had this pose right here where he had his 2 fingers up and he did this sort of martial arts pose and he was able to deflect. Here he's doing it with one hand, bro. One hand.
Right.
One hand, dude. What a freaking beast. And I mean, again, him being able to do that is scary. So Krillin used that as a distraction. It wasn't really to attack Goku, to grab him by the tail, which is his weak point. We actually saw, we literally saw an example of the tail going against Goku in the Baba arc. We saw this. We saw Son Gohan, Grandpa Gohan, grab the tail, spin him around, and basically just, like humble him, basically.
Yeah.
Krillin's trying to do the same thing. Chapter 123, Goku versus Krillin, Part 3. So Goku's over here. He's down. Now I know where this is going. And then Tien Han smiles because he sees there's a weakness there, but Goku pops right up and flips he flips Krillin over with his tail because it turns out that Goku trained his tail. He listened to what Son Gohan told him and he trained his tail. And that's an evolution for the character. The tail is no longer a weak spot. He has toughened up his tail. Right there, during these last 3 years, I've toughened up my tail as hard as I could. Old Kame-Sennin told me to toughen it up, remember? So now I'm fine even if it gets squeezed. Well, Son Gohan told him. He's the one that reminded him of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Goku no longer has any weaknesses. See, that That's supposed to be a big deal because
I mean, it is a big deal in the
he's
sense that
he's a full fighter
Goku's
now.
the Goku's tail has always been the one thing that, like, despite the fact that he is super, super strong and super, super talented and skilled, that's always, it's like his kryptonite, you know? So it is a big deal for sure.
Right. And Krillin saying, look over there, and then hits him. So now he's starting to get desperate. Desperation. Goku vanishes. Right. People think it's another Taio, or it's another after image technique. But they can sense him. Like the older martial artists can still sense him, but Krillin's not having the ability to. But Tien Han can see how fast he's moving. He's moving very
Yeah,
fast.
and this is a ridiculous feat, by the way.
No, this is like faster than speed of light already.
Yeah, this is like like people don't even like, people are like, oh, you know, it took Dragon Ball Z before they were faster than the speed of light. No, if you understand how acceleration works and how much force Goku would have to be pushing off every time he bounces back and forth, he's literally like, this is one of the craziest feats in Dragon Ball almost. Like, it's insane.
I want to answer this question. I don't get why Raditz didn't train his tail, because Raditz didn't have a martial arts master to teach him to train his tail. Raditz wasn't really a martial artist. Raditz was strong, but he wasn't really a martial artist. Look at the way he fights Goku and Piccolo. That's all strength shit. He's not doing anything technique-wise. He never has been a technical fighter. He's just a strength guy. He's never been a student of the martial arts. So what he would do, Raditz, is when he would go take over planets, he would just be the strongest, because everybody else was civilian. He would just be the strongest guy and just kill everybody, you know, or just turn grade 8. Whereas he never had to worry about that being a weakness. Killmonger says Vegeta and Nappa trained their tail after Raditz's death. That's wrong. That is incorrect. If you read the manga or watch the anime, when Raditz dies, they immediately go into the ship and start going to Earth. They did not train their tails. That was not shown whatsoever. They trained their tails either prior to the show, or they didn't need to because they were elite and super elite. It's one of those two.
Right.
Like prior to their appearance, I mean. But we literally see them go into their ships and head to Earth. So they
didn't have time to train after seeing.
They were just asleep the whole time. Yeah. Yeah, and then actually Xavier says Raditz liked fighting or just killing people weaker than him. Killing people weaker than him.
Yeah, he loved killing. Like, the thing is like Goku's love of martial arts is just a tame version of the Saiyans' love of killing people. Like, the Saiyans normally, prior to Goku, got their thrills from killing people. They didn't get it from fighting stronger opponents and all this stuff that Goku does. They got the thrill that they were chasing. The battle addict aspect of their personality was satisfied through wiping out as many people as humanly possible. So Goku's personality is supposed to be like a tame version of what the Saiyans originally were. Like, he's supposed to contrast them and yet be similar to them in that way, you know?
Right. He said, I thought they found out about Raditz's weakness. I don't recall ever. Was there ever a time where they discussed the tail? I don't remember them ever.
I don't remember it either.
Yeah, I don't remember that. So I don't know. All right, let's move on. So this whole thing is just Tien Han being in shock that Goku's so damn fast. Goku's just toying with him here and then hits him. Ba-bam. Krillin goes out. Victory is Goku's. And everyone's cheering. They're like, oh my God, how did he do it so fast? Everyone's like, oh, I like this. What a stupid outcome. That was an incredible match, but the end wasn't very exciting. That sounds like that AEW match from Sunday when Christian won at the very end. Everybody was pissed about it because the match was good till he won. Yeah, I know. In the instant when that son brat showed himself, he showered him with 4 karate chops and made them look weak enough so he would fall out of bounds. So he didn't even use his full power, just his full speed. Well, what's the point about that conclusion? There's no way these stupid amateurs can understand. Exactly, bro. These people who are using their eyes to see the tournament can't see what's really going on because they're not martial artists. That's what basically is going on here. And I do love how I love this. We have both martial arts masters, both senseis, both discussing the feet of Goku. Like, and that's cool because like it's one thing to have somebody like a Whis or a Piccolo be the expository character to explain to us what's going on. Here we have two, one from the good side, one from the bad side. And I like that because it's two different perspectives with the same conclusion. It's to show us that Goku really is tougher than they thought.
Yep.
We need more shit like this, bro.
Yeah, having two different masters. Well, we kind of got that with the Kai a few times with like King Kai. You remember he had that rival Kai.
You're talking about the after the other world tournament. That wasn't in the
Yeah,
manga,
yeah.
but that sort of, yeah. I mean, we kind of
Yeah,
got that,
similar.
yeah. Yeah. Justin Sullivan, have you seen the trailer for Sonic 3 yet? You need to go to World of Geekdom, subscribe, and enable all notifications. World of Geekdom, subscribe to the channel, enable all notifications. Next question here. Who would you say is the female fighter of the franchise? Would you say either between Chi-Chi or 18? 100% 18. It's not even close. Chi-Chi only gets into one actual martial arts spat besides just a couple of little brawls here and there. She fights once. And then earlier she has the helmet that has a boomerang on it. 18 gets into multiple fights in the series and is objectively the strongest woman in Dragon Ball in the original manga. So 100% it's 18. Bro.
I like Vidal's progression as a martial artist, though. Like, I think 18 like starts off strong, so she doesn't really have like a progression other than like being changed by Krillin and all that good stuff. I really like how Vidal like grows as an actual martial artist. Like, I think that's a really cool thing.
No, don't be sorry about the question. It was not a stupid question, but I know if you were subscribed to World of Geekdom and had notifications turned on, you wouldn't ask it. So it's an opportunity for me to remind you that is the channel where we discuss non-Dragon Ball stuff, and that is the channel where I did my Sonic 3 trailer thoughts. So I'm just letting you know it was not a dumb question at all. You know, I don't think it was. But yeah, 18 definitely was like the woman, the strongest woman. So Goku's not even tired. Like, the announcer's trying to see if he wants to take a break. He's not even tired. He's like, all right, we'll take a short break and then we'll go right to the final.
What a flex on Krillin.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it kind of is. Can't even lie about that. So we're about to get to the last fight, the finals of this tournament, Goku versus Tien Han. An absolutely phenomenal fight that people who don't watch original Dragon Ball are never going to understand until they watch it. It's their loss. But Turtle School Goku, Train School 10, Goku versus Tien Han. This is the best fight in the series up until this point, and it stays the best fight for quite some time. And it's some people's favorite fight ever. I will say, once again, I'm going to comment and say I do like the anime version a little bit more. They added some really cool shit to make it feel like it's more, of a kung fu film like we've talked about. I'm not saying this is bad. I would never say that, but the anime version adds so many cool things and makes it more
the
epic.
Directing, like the music, it just it comes off way more like a kung fu movie, and it is very entertaining due to that. So
Child's Play fan says Chi-Chi would have been a good addition as a female character who fights with them if they wrote her that way. That goes for anybody, though. You could have easily figured out a way to give Launch like martial arts
that's essentially
powers.
what Videl is, though, if you think about it.
Well, yeah, she's Gohan's wife, or she would become.
Yeah, she's like Chi-Chi 2.0 almost.
Yeah,
like,
except she knows how to fly, and Chi-Chi never learned that.
Yeah.
She's also tougher. But one thing I will say is Videl isn't really like a main Z fighter. You never see Videl fighting against the supervillains, whereas you do see 18 and 17 doing that. So I think what Child's Play fan means is somebody more like that, like a female member of the squad.
Yeah, like the female Z fighter, essentially. Yeah.
Which we don't even have one. I don't think that's sexism. We just don't have one. We have Khalifa, Kale. We have 18. 18's probably the closest one. Actually, you know what? Because in Super 18 fights with them like 3 times. So I do think that she would count.
Yeah.
But if I do agree with this though, if they wrote the story a different way, Goku and Chi-Chi could have been like a married couple that were also heroes. That isn't necessarily a terrible idea either, because in Sailor Moon we see that, because Tuxedo Mask is her husband, albeit in the future, but still, like, we see that a little bit, and not really in Dragon Ball. I think that I think, and I could be wrong, but I think that comes down to Toriyama himself said he's not very good at writing romance, and if you're going to have them on screen at the same time, he's going to have a little bit of romance in there. That's why you always see couples getting together off screen, because Toriyama does not do romance very well. He admitted that himself, by the way. He admitted that himself.
Yeah.
Does Toriyama hate Chi-Chi or not really? No, I don't know where you heard that. Have you ever
Well,
heard
he
Toriyama
did
hate-
say that
Did he say that?
He said that he had a distaste for her, and that he made Goku marry her to force himself to have to draw her. But
I never heard that, but I believe you. That's funny.
But I don't think he necessarily hates her. I just think that when he says that, you got to understand that Toriyama is saying that from an author's perspective. He's not saying it from like a personal taste perspective. He's talking about it like characters that he's going to keep in the cast of the show. He basically just had a distaste for her as a member of the cast, essentially. Not necessarily who she is as a character, but like her as a member of the cast. And due to that, like, he was very tempted to like kick her off of the show almost completely, and then he decided to marry her and Goku, so that way that didn't happen. So essentially, like, he forced himself into a position to where he had to like keep her around and draw her all the time.
Killmonger says he clearly liked her, that's why he kept her. Toriyama did. Goku didn't like her at first. Goku only agreed to marry her because he thought marriage was a form of food, and he kept his promise. But Chi-Chi was also not really in the front. Like, she's not. We don't see that much of her later on. We do see her once in a while, but she's not like heavily involved. You want to take this question right here, bro? Who would win, Chi-Chi or Videl? Because I don't want to answer that question. You want to answer that question?
No, I'm good.
Okay. No, we can't do that, bro. At the super chat, like I really don't want to answer
win,
this.
bro. Videl would win. There you go,
bro. Thank you, bro. Also, now that you've told him that Videl would win, make sure you tell him something very similar that he should be aware of. Tell him that water is wet, that the sky is blue, and that the earth is round. I don't know if you're ready to hear this, bro. I don't know if you're ready to hear this, but water is wet, the sky is blue, at least during the daytime, and the earth is round. And Videl is stronger than Chi-Chi. Something that
she's much stronger, actually.
Something that my friend's 8-year-old son knows and can figure out. But I better be nicer. I don't want to be mean. I think if I don't want to come off at the mean guy, but damn, bro.
There's somebody in the chat asking if solar flare could give somebody cancer.
We're getting some very interesting questions today, bro. We're getting some very interesting questions, man. You know, like we're getting some very interesting questions. Now, hold on. Is this addressed to me right here? Some people don't actually know stuff like that. Belittling people just because you're in a higher position of power is being a jerk. I don't know if you're talking to me, bro, but I'm not really in a higher position of power.
I
have no power at all, bro. Like, I'm just a guy, you know?
The thing is like, it just takes a few seconds to think about the answer to that question. Videl is a character in the Buu saga who fights somebody who's being powered up by Bobby. And she survives that. You know, it should be obvious who's stronger. I think it's got less to do with belittling people and more to do with it just being a silly question.
Not to mention that I've gotten questions like that for 9 fucking years in a row, literally every single day. Until you walk in my shoes and have to deal with answering questions like that for 9.5 fucking years, bro. And I didn't belittle him. I actually stopped talking about him so that I would not belittle him. I'm not belittling him. But this thing about you saying that I'm in a higher position of power, that's stupid. I'm just a content creator. I don't have any power over anybody else. And the reality is, I'm not lying. My friend's 8-year-old son understands Dragon Ball more than grown people who ask me questions. This is not me trying to be funny. This is a dead ass thing. My friend JD has an 8-year-old son, and he never asked me questions like, who's stronger, Goku in Dragon Ball or Gohan in Dragon Ball Z? He never asked that. You know why? Because he fucking figures it out on his own, like I did when I was 12. So am I just a genius? Is everybody else stupid? Or do people have to think? I don't know. I don't know which is the right answer. I really don't know. You know? He says, I was meeting somebody honestly may not have known the answer to the question.
I mean, that might be true, but if that's the case, they didn't watch the series, and asking somebody on YouTube the answer to the question rather than like finding out yourself is weird.
Thank you,
yeah.
bro. Thank you, Jordan. So I don't have to say it. He said it, so I don't have to say it. 9 years. 9 years of this. 9 years, bro. It's like I'm so glad that you said it so I wouldn't have to, bro. Like it's this idea.
You said it so many times.
Dude,
I'm glad
9
to spare
years.
You.
9 years. And here's the problem with me is people ask stupid fucking questions, and then I become a sarcastic asshole and I pick on them for not being able to figure it out, and suddenly I'm a bad person. And it's not that I'm a bad person. It's that you're asking me a question that I figured out when I was 12. Like, don't you ever like think for a minute that maybe like that's weird? Like it's a weird question.
Yeah, and you know, it's also kind of a form of tough love too, because
It is a form of tough love.
Because you know you're encouraging people to use critical thinking, and that's just going to help them in life.
Yes. Now here one more thing about this before we move on. He says some people have disabilities in learning, can't classify everyone as being normal or as being smart as you are. First of all, I'm not saying I'm smarter than everybody else, because I'm not. I've never said that other than jokingly, right? That's number one. Number two, you're right. Some people do have disabilities. Some people have autism. That is all true. Unfortunately, because of the way the internet is and the anonymous of the internet, I can't read your medical report, bro. I don't know who's got autism. I don't know who's slow. I don't know. I genuinely do not know. It doesn't, your medical records are your own private, thing. So it's just, the thing you have to understand is I've actually gotten a lot nicer than I used to be. If you were around during the Dragon Ball Super era, I was way more of a dick to people when they asked dumb questions. Way more of a dick. Nowadays, I just ignore dumb questions. Most, like 90% of the time, I ignore dumb questions. There's been some dumb questions in today's chat, even from you that I've ignored. So
right.
Please, like,
he is being very tame.
Try to see it from my side, bro, please. Like, fuck. Anyways, this is the final matchup here, Goku versus Tien Han. It's just fucked up that I have to explain myself after 9 fucking years, bro. Like I've worked on myself, dude. I really have. I've become a better person. But fuck, dude, it builds up.
Look, don't get me wrong. Everybody can't always be nicer. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I agree with that, including me.
But also, again, it's like a form of tough love. Like part of the thing that's something that's kind of missing from like basically just don't be so sensitive. You know what I mean? Like if I asked a stupid question to my older brother, and I don't have an older brother, I am the older brother. But if I asked a stupid question to my older brother, he would probably respond that way, and he loves me, very likely. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's just something that people should learn to deal with in life,
And don't even get me started. Don't let me start rant number 3,508 about fucking snowflakes on the internet. Don't even get me started on that fucking rant, because you said it already yourself, bro. You said it already yourself. I'm not going to talk about it. Classic scene right here. It was done in the anime as well. I mean, there's not much I can say bad about any of this. You know what I
No, and
mean?
I love the way that that's drawn
Yeah.
right there with the crowd just being a bunch of colored polka dots.
Yeah, it's like the far away angle.
Yeah, I love that's one of my favorite like little colored panels. I love that.
You know what I think is pretty awesome too? I don't know if any of y'all picked up on this, but when you get to the Buu Saga tournament, right? The Buu Saga tournament, the arena is a totally different arena, and they have bleachers. And that's like smart because that means that the people who run this tournament, right? They looked at the fact that there were probably people on the floor that couldn't see from the back, right? And they decided to add bleachers. That's kind of, it's a small thing, right? But it's cool that in the universe of Dragon Ball, even the regular humans think and try to upgrade things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was cool as well.
That is cool.
Xavier says, was there anything in Goku and Tien's rematch done better? Yes, but we haven't got there yet. When we get there, that's a few volumes away. When we get there, we'll compare the two. I do like that fight more. The second one. You know what I mean?
That panel where Goku is like doing the splits midair, where Krillin's trying to kick him and he like does the splits midair.
You mean Tien right here?
Yeah, where Tien
and he wraps his tail around him.
Yes, I love that small little interaction right there is so awesome.
Having an extra appendage is useful, yo. It's very, very useful. Okay, no, I have not played Black Myth Wukong yet. Jordan has, though, and this morning on his channel, he did a playthrough. Was that your first or second stream playing the game?
That was my second stream. I did one yesterday morning, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to do like 2 a week, something like that. Probably Monday early in the day and then Tuesday before our streams for the Mangalorian.
So. Crane Killmonger says, Crane ruined the 22nd tournament for me. It was all rigged and Goku and Tien's fight was bullshit. I don't know about rigged. I don't know if you're using the right word. If you're talking about how they cheated, yes, they did cheat. That is true. I think that's probably what you mean.
I think that makes the plot more interesting.
Me too. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to get to that shortly. We're going to go more in depth on it shortly, but I disagree with Killmonger. I see where he's coming from. Yes, definitely Crane Hermit cheated, but that, like Jordan said, that's part of Tien Shin Han's character arc. That literally, if Crane never cheated, Tien Shin Han would have never totally turned to the good side. So that's something that needed to happen, and Toriyama's a very smart man to write that.
Right, and it backfires on the Crane Hermit because he eventually loses like his best student.
Killmonger says Goku should have won that damn fight. I mean, he sounds like a Goku fan. He sounds like a Goku fan who's like pissed off that his guy didn't win, like a sports fan when he types like that. And I understand where you're coming from. No, Justin, he's not shitting on the fight. He's just saying that he was irritated because the bad guy did evil things, which is true. But those evil things needed to happen.
Look, for Tien winning it, I just fundamentally disagree. Tien winning this fight,
you go first.
Tien winning this and getting an empty victory is a huge part of his character development because he works so hard to win, and yet when he does win, it feels empty. And
it's no different than at the end of Cobra Kai season 4 with Tori and the referee.
Yeah, it's such a huge part of his character development. It really like cements his mentality as a martial artist later. And it also makes Goku finally winning at the very end of the original run of Dragon Ball.
There you go.
Much more epic.
There you go. See, look what he said here. He said, I enjoyed the whole thing, but it got me angry and emotional. Good. Don't take this the wrong way. Good. If a bad guy in a story can get heat on the fans, that means that Toriyama did his job. That means that Killmonger, you are 100% in the right to hate Crane Hermit. He's an asshole. We can all agree. And that's the point. You're supposed to hate him. And that's what I like. It's the same thing with Frieza. It's the same thing with every villain. You are supposed to hate them.
Right.
And I love that. I just said the word Tory, bro, and now all of a sudden I want to end the stream for reasons, but I won't. I won't do that. I won't do it. So, but yeah, like Dick, you said though, I'm taking my weed. This Goku losing twice in the final made his third tournament when he actually won mean more.
Right.
So there they go. Again, these panels are even better than the Krillin fight panel. Tien Han gets knocked back. Goku comes through. Tien Han comes up. Goku with a flying kick. Tien Han fires Dodonpa from a north-south position. I should be doing commentary, bro. When Dragon Ball Daima starts, I'm gonna start doing those pro wrestling type reviews where I do fucking play-by-play on the moves and shit. And
Have you ever seen Dodgeball?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it last year when I was doing, or 2 years ago now, when I did the hyperbaric fucking chamber thing.
You know the announcers for Dodgeball, the Cotton, and I can't remember both their names, but anyway,
I can't remember their names.
Anytime I think of sports announcers, I think of those two guys now, just because they're so funny. Like every once in a while, one of the announcer guys would be like, "Interesting strategy. Let's see if it works out for him." And that's like his only line. He like basically says that like over and over again. It's so funny.
Crane Hermit's supposed to be a piece of shit. That's why he cheated. That and his hatred for Roshi. Right, and that's exactly my point. And then this guy says, Sam and Tori finally hugged it out, but they never really had true closure. Well, we still got 10 more episodes left, so plenty of time for us to get that story resolved. We'll see how that goes. So the Donpa actually does hit Goku. He goes down and actually crashes through the fucking bricks, the cement blocks of the tournament stage, but he fucking fires back up. In the anime it was so much slower because he goes into the hole and there's like a break and we're supposed to see like, well, where'd he go? And then he just comes right out of it. The anime version of the fight's a little bit slower, but they do add more. Then bam, Goku goes in. He tries to sneak up behind Tien Han, but Tien Han has the super sight. He hits him with a back chop or a back fist. Do you really think that childish trick would fool me? And then this is the part that Nakatsuru animated in the anime where he puts Goku in the corner. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Well, Tien Han put Goku in the corner, bro, and just absolutely pummeled him.
That's some straight up kung fu movie stuff right there for sure.
That's one of my favorite fucking moments in the whole damn thing, dude. Like animation wise, it's incredible, and so is the art here.
Yeah,
look at that shit, bro.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Just like a machine.
And then he ends it with the double
axe.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yep, and then he holds him up. Go where you want, heaven or hell. It's over. Chapter 129.
What a epic freaking line, bro. They should have him say that way more often, like in the video games and stuff like that.
When he wins?
Yeah, that would be awesome. That's such an epic line.
Heaven or hell, take your pick. Actually, I'm sorry. Heaven or HFIL, take your pick. Let's not forget, we have to dumb everything down for the kids. We have to dumb everything down in the dub, bro. Insert Kenshiro yelling yatatata. Bro, that's a great reference from Kurama. That's from Kurama 5700. He's talking about Fists of the North Star, a show that I saw the movie forever ago, and I always wanted to watch the show all the way through, start to finish, and I never got around to it. I think I may actually start that one sometime. Maybe next year. You know, that was the iconic shonen manga before Dragon Ball. That's the one everybody liked.
Yeah.
You know? And I think it came out it was right before Dragon Ball, like maybe a couple years. I have to check. I'm not an expert on the history of have you ever seen Fist of the North Star?
Yeah.
Or read the manga, whichever.
Yeah, I've read the manga, yeah.
Yeah, see, I haven't. I've only seen the one fucking movie, bro. Yeah, bro, Kenshiro's like the inspiration for JoJo. So right here, bro, Goku's history, he tosses him up. Hyakuken, here we go, which is the volleyball technique. And he's basically tossing them around like a volleyball. It's not quite the same as the Gotenks version. It's a much more of a goofier technique. Well, Gotenks is more goofy. I like I like how Toriyama does the eyes moving. It shows motion, even though the eyes aren't really popping out. He goes down. Crane thinks he's dead. And then once again, Goku bounces right back up. What's up, motherfucker? He's doing the fucking sup with your man. That I don't know if you know what that is, but there was an episode of Cheaters. You ever seen the show Cheaters?
Yeah, I remember Cheaters.
You remember that show with Joey Greco? There's an episode where this fucking Mexican guy gets cheated on by his girl, and his name was, I think, Robert Gajardo, right? And he gets into a fight with the guy who cheated on her. And he goes, and the fucking guy who cheated on her, he pushes them and he goes, "Sup with your man?" And then they start fighting, right? And then the guy who's fucking...
Oh, I think I've seen that. I
could probably find it. They're fighting, and then the guy who's fucking his girl knocks him out. So the guy fucked his girl and knocked him out on television. He goes down, and when he knocks him out, he goes, "Sup with your man?" And then he goes, big time right here. Big time.
I do remember that.
I can't believe
that's a memory unlocked for me, man. Wow. I haven't thought about that in forever.
Big
Holy
time
crap,
right
man.
Big time. And then he's all out. He's like, ah. And when they pick him up, the fucking bodyguard goes, did he have a ring or something? Nobody in the chat has any idea what we're talking about, bro. They're probably going to Google it. You know what, bro? You might be able to find it on YouTube. Robert Gajardo. What is it again? Cheaters?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here it is. It's on Amazon Prime. Robert Gajardo gets floored by his girlfriend's infidelity. Season 8, episode 11. No, I'm sorry. Season 8, episode 111. So there you go. Wait a minute. There's one that says season... Oh, never mind. Season 4, episode 11. That's the one. It's on Pluto TV right now. I'm literally opening it up on the other screen, bro. I'm not going to show it. Maybe I will, bro. Fuck it. Why not? I think I'm going to show it, bro. Should I show it to the people?
Yeah, I mean, you do whatever you want. I think it's hilarious.
I think it's hilarious too.
I haven't seen it in years, so
all right, we're gonna see him get knocked the fuck out, bro. I'm gonna get to the part where he gets knocked out. So what's your man? Hold on, where's the here we go. All right. Wait, can you see it or is it black?
It's black.
Oh, that means that it's being blocked. Damn, it's being blocked, dude. Never mind. Okay, so here's what I want y'all to do. When we get done with the stream, go to Cheaters Season 4, Episode 11 on Pluto TV. It's free, except I can't show you. And watch from the halfway point. Start watching at 12:05. 12 minutes and 5 seconds. You can watch it before then, but do it there. And you'll have a good time, bro. You'll have a good time. So with you, man. Oh, man. I remember the back of that silver Honda when they pulled up. So with you, man. Anyways, now I'm thinking about fucking Cheaters, bro. So Goku's all up in his face, bro. And it's not over yet. After all the things that Tenshin Han has done, it looks like you're trying to kill me. So I'll fight with the power I use for combat. AKA, I'm going to take you serious.
Mortal Kombat is what they should have said, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah, life or death. Yeah, except that you can't kill in the tournament. But yeah, he comes in, connects with a big right hand, goes to the body. Remember what we said last stream, yo? Getting hit in the liver is the most painful knockout, bro. That's not what happened here, though. Goku kicks him away. Goku goes underneath. Goku double kicks him up. Goku's about to fire a Kamehameha, but he doesn't fire it. But Tenshin Han comes down and does the superhero pose when he lands. And Tenshin Han is surprised at Goku's power. I'm so happy. I can't believe there's someone like you. I never thought I could be so excited. But wait a minute. He's not a Saiyan. Why is he so happy? Again, bro, it's about being a martial artist more than
Yeah,
some
the pride
alien.
of the martial artist.
That
Yep.
the only thing Toriyama did by adding that aspect to the Saiyan people is just make room for more martial artists. That's all he pretty much
Yeah,
did.
well, it's an exaggerated. The thing is like
Yeah, it is exaggerated.
anybody can get excited in battle. It's just it's built into their biology to be that way. Like it's a mentality that they have to build up because they love battle as martial artists. Not everybody is just going to love combat. Tien just so happens to be very Ten Shinhan just so happens to be very strong. He's fighting a strong opponent that
And
he's
Roshi.
yeah, he's fighting an opponent that thrills him because they can keep up with him and he's that powerful. So it's more so like the dynamics between the individual characters that causes this in this specific case. Whereas that just tends to happen more often in Dragon Ball Z because Goku is constantly climbing the ladder, fighting mutants and like people who are just like ridiculously stronger than him. So it's just it is really kind of just treated as an excuse for Goku to like chase stronger and stronger opponents and get the thrill that he's chasing more and more and more.
Mecha J said, we just hear that line from Goku more often. Yeah, because he's the main character. Of course, you're going to hear it from him more often.
Right.
But the point is, if you're reading Dragon Ball or watching the anime, you will know that multiple characters do that. Okay, Owl. See, I respect Owl because earlier in the chat I roasted him and he's still here. That's respectable. That means you're not a snowflake. He asked, what do you think of the analysis of the battle excitement is a representation of the Tao? I was going to ask Jordan about that, if there's anything in Journey to the West. I mean, I know that there is combat thrill of combat in like just martial artists or even like even the Buddhists that practice martial arts. But is there anything in Journey to the West or in Taoism about it? I think that's what
Yeah, so
Owl is
Taoism
asking.
is about embracing your true nature, like who you actually are as an individual. And so it is sort of centered around Taoism in that respect because Taoism teaches that our true nature is that of an infant and that we're actually pure by nature and we're not born evil. We become evil due to due to falling victim to
Environmental.
due to falling victim to our ego. So this is basically just pointing out that Tien is a martial artist by nature and not an assassin by nature. So it does have something to do with Taoism in that aspect because it reflects what Taoism talks about in respect to our true nature. Because Tien is essentially discovering his true nature in this moment. He's always looked at himself as like he's always like aspired to be a great killer, but he's starting to find out that that's actually not what he is by nature. He's actually a martial artist by nature.
Yep, and he's starting to see things from the Roshi perspective. So now this is a very interesting question, and it's a question I've never gotten before. And it's actually not a bad question. It's an understandable one, but it's one I've never gotten before. He says, Jared Roundtree. I hope you're related to Richard Roundtree, bro. I'm a big fan of his. Odd question. I asked on a Reddit post off topic, who wins power level wise, King Piccolo or Goku's mom? Because in the Broly movie, it seemed like Saiyans commonly had power levels higher than King Piccolo. That's from Jared Roundtree. Yes, even lower class Saiyans do have power levels higher than Piccolo. The issue with that is we never see Goku's mom fight. We never see her train. Toriyama never made a comment about her fighting. The only thing he said is that Saiyan women are tougher by nature and that they usually don't go on the journeys with the other Saiyans. Some just stay at home, like Gine.
Well,
So
Bardock was coming to her rescue all the time, as well as like all his companions. So, she could be stronger than King Piccolo, but
she could be.
it's not suggested that she's like ridiculously strong because Bardock was there to save the day most of the time. So,
Yeah,
think of
no,
that what you will.
you're right. She could be stronger than Piccolo, but there's no way to figure this out. because we have okay, like there's no way to figure this out because we have no quantifiable evidence as to how strong she is. Like
Right.
Toriyama's never given a number. He's never said that she's a fighter. Like there's been no indication of any of that with her. And we see such little screen time from her that it's impossible to know. It's kind of like asking, for example, who's stronger, Tarble or Raditz? Tarble, I would assume, is stronger, but he has so little screen time that we can't really make a confident guess. And Guine has even less screen time than him. And we know that he traveled around by himself and Guine didn't. So I think it would make more sense that Guine not be a fighter.
Yeah, me too. And the thing is like, you know, they do kind of give us an idea of like the scaling system. So for example, Beats, the Saiyan that goes with Paragus's planet to rescue Broly.
Yeah.
When they first run into Broly, they find out Broly has a power level of around like 900 or something like that. And then Beats says that his power level is higher than his. Well, Beats wasn't even a low-class warrior. He wasn't warrior class at all.
Well, he was just a guy, like a scientist.
Yeah, he wasn't a warrior class at all. He essentially was kind of like a mechanic. He worked on the
dock.
The
super low-class guys get side jobs and stuff like that.
Right. So you can assume that Guine is probably more powerful than him because she did get sent off to be a combatant. But other than that, we don't really have anything to go on at all. You know.
Yeah, there's not enough information. Xavier says King Piccolo's power was split between Kim and Kami. Correct, but I think the question he was asking was just about King Piccolo.
Yeah, in that arc.
Yeah, because if your question is who's stronger, Guine or Piccolo with Kami absorbed that we saw in the Cell Saga? No, bro. Piccolo would wipe her out with one shot, bro.
Right.
The Super Namekian Piccolo after Kami's absorption is the strongest Z fighter at that point in the series. He surpassed Goku. He surpassed Vegeta. He surpassed Gohan. He surpassed Trunks. For that part in the series, when Vegeta and Trunks exit the Room of Spirit and Time, Piccolo gets knocked down to 3 because Trunks and Vegeta are above him because they surpassed him in the Room of Spirit and Time. But before that point, Piccolo is the strongest good guy at that time. Very briefly, Piccolo is the strongest. I'm just saying, some people forget that brief time. Yeah, Nameless Namekian was incredibly powerful. And remember, even if Piccolo and Kami had stayed fused prior to the Cell Saga, let's just say, hypothetically, he would still be so powerful because he's a Super Namekian. Obviously, because Piccolo already had Nail and trained hundreds of years, he's even stronger than that because you're stacking Nail and Kami on top of him. But either way, I think all versions of the Son of Katatsu, aka Demon King Piccolo, with Kami, the original Nameless Namekian, that would beat Guine. Anyways,
we spent a lot of time on this question. He's way beyond Raditz level. Whoever said that he was Raditz level, that's correct.
No, I think he said that most Saiyans are Raditz's level. I think he said that.
No, there's a guy that says the Nameless Namekian might be Raditz level. No, he's way more powerful than Raditz.
Bro, the Nameless Namekian was stronger than Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta. How can he be Raditz level?
Right.
Again, I figured this out when I was 12. I'm not a super genius. I'm just a guy. I don't think power scaling is that difficult in Dragon Ball. I think it gets difficult from the Buu saga and on, because that's when things get more convoluted, and especially in Super. But I
think Super is just different because they get so much friggin' stronger every damn chapter, you know.
Like, and then other people compete with them, and then people are like, wait a minute, how can
Yeah.
You were saying?
Oh, I was just saying that like the dynamics in terms of like how fast they grow are accelerated like tenfold. So like people will debate about power scaling for an entire month about Super, and then the very next month, everything they talked about for that entire month becomes obsolete. Yeah.
So yeah, that's funny. Super. Killmonger says poor Raditz never got a chance to be Super Saiyan. No, because he died. He's an asshole. You say poor Raditz, he threatened to kill his own nephew, bro. He's a piece of shit.
Right.
Like, fuck it, he's gone. Anyways, let's keep going here. I thought there was another question, but that was the
I'm
one that I
gonna
had.
take the championship no matter what. See, this is awesome because like
Yep.
you can really see that Goku is already having an impact on Tien. It's like the combination of Roshi doing what he does to Ten and Goku that really like defines his character early on. Like it's really cool.
Right, and I love that panel right there of them the collision. Here's like a side what do you call this? Like a centerfold or whatever for chapter 130. But it's weird because it's not translated. I mean, it's right there. It says 130, but I think it's 130. Anyways, moving on. The battle continues back and forth. Again, Goku's using the Zanzo Ken, which he used a lot. And Ten Shinhan, of course, is very good. Very, very skilled martial artist. Catches Goku, kicks him. They go back and forth. That was a double
Okay,
blow.
so those
This is
few panels
this is all
where he's
a
got
chess match.
bro, listen.
Mhm.
Those few panels where he's got the characters becoming transparent, like I don't think people understand how ridiculously hard that would be to do from an artistic perspective to like get the angles right and everything and draw everything to where it looks like anatomically correct. Like that takes some like serious skill to like draw it that way. Like it's very very well done.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is the best fight up until this point, not just because of the action and the moves and the storytelling and the choreography, but the art itself is a step up. The art itself, and notice how, and I don't know if you ever picked up on this, but when Toriyama draws a fight scene, have you ever noticed how he rarely draws backgrounds? Notice how it's just colors, and if it's not like the sky color, it's like this red color with like lines. Like
Yeah,
he
because they're moving so fast that it would be weird to draw backgrounds. Like
yes,
he's using that to his. Don't get me wrong, he hated drawing backgrounds too, but like he's using this to advantage to portray a sense of speed, which it works really great.
somebody in the chat said that Pan should join. I think it was Killmonger said Pan should join the Turtle School. Well, she's in the Piccolo School now, and I would assume Gohan as well. So Gohan learned from him, and he turned out okay. We'll see what happens. That'll be down the road. So yeah, it's just yeah, it's a combination of him not liking to draw backgrounds, like you said, and showing off the speed. That's why you see a lot of these like lines going up and down because that's like, hey, it's super fucking fast. And then when they get to the ground again is when you see some of the background, like some of it, but not everything.
Yeah, because they're not moving as fast anymore.
Right, they're down now. Playtime is over. Taiyo Ken. So he does the Taiyo Ken, and he thinks he got Goku, but Goku not only blocked him, but hit him right. Was that a liver shot, bro? Is that the liver shot? It's in the stomach, so it's close.
That looks like a liver shot to me.
I know. That's why I said it looks like a liver shot, because that's not.
Yeah.
That's a little bit lower than just the breadbasket. That's
Right.
Yeah. And then this is the infamous moment where Goku went past the speed of light to get Roshi's sunglasses. I always thought that was a genius. That was Toriyama taking a serious fight and giving us comic relief for like a second before going back to it being serious again.
Yeah. Well, it's also like it is funny, but it's also like a huge flex on Goku's part. It's like, yeah, it's funny, but also it's super ridiculously cool due to the fact that it's a flex. You know what I mean? It makes Goku look like a savage.
I like what he says here. Pan can deliver milk and dig the yard with her hands. You know what? That is good training for her. She should do that. She should be delivering the damn milk. So, yes, it's a tremendous flex. Ten Shinhan goes in. I love it's a big ass knee to the face, and then Roshi's over here like my glasses, but Goku got him taken off before they broke. He would have if Ten Shinhan would have connected with that knee, he would have fucking hurt the fuck out of. He would have broken the glasses. Excuse me, my brain's going slow today. Well, it's not a kidney shot because the kidneys are around the backside. That
Yeah.
would not be a kidney shot, bro. You had to go back to your anatomy class, bro. Learn about the human anatomy. I showed your mom a little bit of my anatomy last night. No, I'm fucking with you, bro.
Yeah, there's a reason that
I'm
like
just-
most of the time when they talk about kidney shots, they come from kicks. Because
Yeah,
they're reaching around,
around.
you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what currency this is, but Lea Caballero donated 1,000 Rs. What's Rs?
I don't know.
Rs currency. Pesos? Oh, Argentinian pesos. He's from Argentina. Okay, now it makes sense. Yeah, he just wrote Argentinian pesos. You don't have to say sorry. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm looking it up. He writes, Toriyama was amazing. I'm a professional comic book artist. Believe me when I say this man was one of a kind genius. Well, yeah, because he was a prodigy. And I don't know if you're a prodigy or not, but it wasn't like Toriyama took that many classes either. He just kind of figured it out, and that's what makes him so crazy.
Right.
So what is the exchange rate? 1,000 pesos is how much American? Hold on. R's to USD currency. It says 0.00011, bro. I hope that's not correct, bro. Okay, wait. 1,000 Argentinian pesos is $1. That's it? That can't be right. His super chat is for $1. No, it's $1 and like a little bit extra. I'm over here like, bro, oh wow, 1,000. That's great, and it's $1. I shouldn't even taken that super chat, bro. I shouldn't even taken it. Can you believe the lack of respect, bro? $1. $1.98. Relax, man. You don't have to donate more. It was just funny to me that I'm over here like YouTube sees 1,000 and they're like, oh my god, it's a red super chat sticker, right? And it's fucking $1. Damn, bro. So if I have 50 Argentinian pesos, that's like $0.00001 or something. I don't know,
Yep.
bro. I'm not a math guy. Where's Bon Jedi to help me out? This guy said, thank you for fixing the paneling. I didn't do it for you, motherfucker. I fucking put up a poll in the community tab and they wanted it that way. This guy thinks it was all him, bro. The ego. Motherfucker. All right, let's get back to this shit. So, Roshi trying to get his glasses back. The fight continues. Goku goes up, left himself wide open. Tenshin Han with the blast. Goku goes down. But what happened was Goku could not move. Goku was frozen in place. This is what Killmonger was talking about. It was 1,000 Argentinian bucks, which is $1 for us. So nobody can figure out what's going on. Look at Suru Senen, you wrinkly piece of shit. I guarantee you he didn't say that. Yeah, Chaozu is using his fucking telekinetic powers and stopping. See right here, he's using his power to freeze Goku in midair, sort of like what Mr. Guldo would do, except he froze everything around him and multiple people. Well, not his friends, but multiple people. But it was an actual freeze of time, not telekinetically stopping Goku. Yeah, this would not work on Goku ever again. So Goku's getting stopped, and Tenshin Han's just getting free shots in on him. This is what Killmonger was mad about earlier, is what he's talking about. Every time that Goku tries to come in to attack him, that's a great shot right there. Chaozu freezes him. Like, what the hell's going on? And even Tenshin Han is over here making that face like, this is a little weird. And Tenshin Han realizes, what's been going on. So he telepathically asks Chaozu, Jiaozi, have you been behind this? Yeah, undo your spell. Undo your spell quickly. I want to win like this. I don't want to win like this. He wants to win fair and square, bro. Again, this is This is Terry Silver and Tori, bro, at the end of season 4. And then he says to stop it, and basically Goku's getting up, and then this is when this guy says, "You're rebelling against me, your own master." So this is the turn. This is the actual babyface turn, bro.
It is. He's
Like,
starting to develop the pride of a martial artist.
yeah, because he wants to win clean. And then meanwhile, this guy's screaming and shit, giving away that he's cheating. And now he's threatening to kill Chaozu. But the hero himself, Master Roshi, steps up with the Kamehameha, aimed, he met right through Ten Shinhan, and he, like right around him, and he fucking hit fucking Suru Senin and sent his ass packing, bro.
Flying, bro.
The Crane Hermit got
that's some
fucked.
precision, man. That's some precision. You remember whenever Goten and Trunks were fighting in the tournament and they were all freaking out about their blasts like hitting the crowd? Like Roshi, he didn't care. He just like he had so much control. He just straight up like rocketed the Crane Hermit out of the crowd.
Do you think, in your opinion, it would have been better if Ten Shinhan was the one that blew him away?
Maybe, but I think it would take away from the impact of what happens later with Tien a bit.
You mean with Tao in the 23rd tournament?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we just got done watching those episodes this past Saturday on Twitch. We just got past them. Now we're getting into Piccolo versus Krillin, which is a good fight. Justin says, Crane Hermit's blasting off again. He gave me $1.99, which is about 2,000 Argentinian pesos, as we learned today, bro. He gave thanks for the 2,000 pesos, bro. If I ever go to Argentina, bro, I'm gonna be a rich man. You know the thing about Argentinian people, bro, is their Spanish is very different from everybody else's because they have like an accent where instead of saying yo, they say yo. So they're like it can okay, you're not Spanish, but you've obviously heard the dog yo quiero Taco Bell, right?
Well, my brother speaks Spanish and he's taught me a little bit about it, so I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, I'm using that as an example, but you know about yo quiero Taco Bell, right? The dog.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be yo quiero Taco Bell.
Yeah,
right.
It's like the Argentinian accent. I think they're the only ones that do that because Colombians don't do it, Ecuadorians don't do it. It's like an Argentinian thing.
Interesting.
Crane Hermit's blasting off again, bro.
Pokemon.
Yes, thank you. Now here, Roshi says, let's get it done, bro. Fight to your heart's content. Sorry, it looks like I was wrong about you. Now that I've betrayed my master,
this is very similar to like whenever Hit let himself fall off the stage at the end of the tournament. It's very similar to when Jiren like gets back up, after being defeated by Goku and everybody else, and he smiles because he's developing we see this happen so many times in the series where characters develop in the sense that they actually want to like test themselves and like push their limits as a martial artist. And that's it. And so like the distinction is that testing yourself and pushing yourself as a martial artist takes priority over winning and killing your opponent. Right. So that's the distinction that they're trying to make here.
Check it out, bro. He donated 5,000 Rs, bro. He gave me $5. I'm rich. Yes, he says you'll be rich here. We'll treat you good. Just give me an Argentinian chick, bro. Or better, a Colombian chick in Argentina. That would be sweet. Dude, I have considered leaving the country. I love weed too much, so I don't, but I have considered going to one of those Spanish countries. I'd live like a king over there, bro. You only need like $1,000 a month to live like a king over there in a nice penthouse apartment, bro. It's sweet. Chapter 132, Arms Race, which is obviously, a pun. I've betrayed my master, but somehow I feel free. It's no longer a matter of suitor or comment or taking revenge. I can devote all of my attention towards fighting to win this match rather than fighting to kill you. See, you've kind of become a nice guy. So there's the turn right there. He hasn't 100% turned, but he's on his way. He is on his way.
This is the first time that the Goku effect is like really like rubbed in our face.
But it was
Despite
the
the fact-
Roshi effect this time.
well, yeah, it's the both of them. It's both. It's the combination of the two here. Goku himself would do it by himself later on as the series progressed, but Roshi is the one that really like, you know, impacted him in the sense that he showed him that winning is not everything, right? And that there is such thing as like a meaningless and empty victory. And Goku, his role is to get Tien excited about the prospect of there being somebody stronger than him. So they kind of work together to like change Tien. Or Tien.
Yeah, it's two characters for sure. But I'm just saying, like, I like that it's Roshi this time, and Goku. I think this part of the fight's really where Tien Han becomes a real competitor. But Roshi put the bug in his ear, and I like that it's him because he's got more experience than anybody. I mean, he's the god of martial arts, whether Crane Hermit likes it or not.
Right.
This technique right here is very, very interesting. So here, Tien Han pops 2 extra arms out of his back. Now, I said this earlier. I have not done a technique guide on this attack. I don't know if I will do a technique guide on this attack. I kind of want to, but I don't know if I will. This Toriyama said in an interview that this is an attack that people from Tien Han's race know. So it's not a move you can learn. It's something that people from his race know. Now, if you're wondering what's his race, he's part human, part alien. And I go into explicit detail on this in a video I put out years ago called Is Tien an Alien? It's a Dragon Ball Mythbusters episode. And in that one, I go into like all the different, like what Toriyama said, what he meant, where the idea came from, all that stuff. Anyways, so this technique is not a Crane school technique. This is something that his race does. The arms race, get it? So it's going to be tough now for Goku. He's basically fighting a guy who's almost like Goro. And he can grab you with 2 hands. You know what this is, bro? This is Obi-Wan against Count Dooku, bro.
Oh yeah, it does remind me
bro.
of Goku a lot. That's true.
Yeah, bro. I will deal with this Jedi slime myself. You fool. I was trained in the Jedi arts by Count Dooku.
Did you like him as a character in Star Wars?
Dooku?
No. Grievous.
Grievous? I liked him for what we got. We didn't get much of him. I thought he was a cool character, but he sucked as a lightsaber duelist because Obi-Wan embarrassed him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But he still was a cool character. I mean, it's a fucking cyborg with an alien that has like fucking COPD and is coughing all the time, bro.
Yeah.
Coughing shit. And of course, I love his music. Dun 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 dun. Remember that theme he had? Dun 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 dun. You remember that theme?
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I like his theme.
Yeah, he got Dooku and Grievous mixed up, guys. It's all good.
I did get Dooku at first, but now I know. Yeah, Grievous is the cyborg. I know that. Yeah. I'm saying that I thought he was talking about Dooku, but he was talking about Grievous. So, yeah, I'm not talking about Dooku and Obi-Wan. I'm talking about Grievous and Obi-Wan.
Right.
And because Obi-Wan just chopped off 2 of his fucking arms like that, it was just easy, you know. Mm-hmm. So Tien Han with a double chop and a double axe. It's unfair. It's totally unfair. This right here should be against the rules. It's not, but it should be. And this right here, bro, this is like some kinky sex shit you'd see in a hentai porn, bro. He's holding Goku.
It reminds me of Goro. You remember Goro?
I already mentioned Goro earlier.
Yeah.
I said it a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
He's doing the Goro, so he's got all 4 of his limbs held by his hands, and then starts headbutting him. There's no other fight in Dragon Ball quite like this one. There really isn't. You don't see these moves ever again.
Yeah, this is a once thing.
Yeah, it is, because he never even does this move ever again. We never see Tien Han do that move again. So Goku uses his tail, his 5th limb. And then Goku's version of this move is different. It looks like he's got 8 arms, but he's just moving really fast. But basically the idea is much like the Grievous Obi-Wan thing. Goku's hands are so fast that he's able to block all 4 of the arms and counterattack, as we see here. See, you see him connecting with that left hook and that kick. Like, Goku's just smashing this motherfucker, bro. Now, Tien Han's preparing for his final technique. I don't want to kill you, so dodge it, all right? Dodge it. With the idea being if Goku dodges it, he'll get a ring out and Tien Han will win. And everybody's telling him, don't do it. Don't do it. But he's going to do it, bro. The most extreme technique in the series up until this point. The contestant,
this is so epic. If you have never consumed Dragon Ball and you saw this for the first time, this is so unbelievably epic. Like, it's insane.
It's the first time they ever did something like this.
Yeah.
And it's from Tien Han, aka Tien, the character that everybody doesn't care about because they only saw Z. And they missed the reason why Tien Han at one time was so damn scary. This move right here. Yeah, well, I mean scary as far as a fighter. Chapter 133, the desperation move. I love the little broken glass or like little broken manga panels there. So Goku decides to take it head on. And there he is gathering up his energy. More and more energy. His hands are glowing slightly. He's concentrating his ki from throughout his body into his hands. What an incredible ki. There it is right there, bro. Oh, God. Oh, it's called the Kikoho. It's too complicated for kids. Just call it tri-beam. But it's not a triangle, it's a square. Yeah, but he's got 3 eyes, and that forms triangle. So let's just call it the tri-beam. I fucking hate the dub, bro. So he fires the Kikoho, which this technique, as you can see right here, if you do this technique and you don't save a little bit of energy, you're going to die because he's taking up the vast majority of all his energy to make sure he does this move to kill. It is a kill move. Justin says, oh shit, Tien is doing the Eye of the Pyramid symbol. Illuminati confirmed. Yes, triple Illuminati, bro. Dodge Goku, big blast. This whole thing right here is so crazy. Look at this.
Yeah, it's literally like perfectly in the shape of the stage.
It's perfectly in the shape of a stage, which means it's not a fucking triangle because it's a fucking square shape. Okay, here's a good question. Just curious, if you're so strong on people watching Dragon Ball subbed, what do you say to those people who are visually impaired or blind? You can't watch it subbed? I mean, I don't. What am I supposed to say?
I'm live.
Tough shit that you're blind, get fucked. Like, that's not what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say if you're blind, you can't watch it subbed.
He's very, like, it's such a loaded question. He's very clearly talking about people who can watch the sub. Okay, like,
thank you, Jordan. Now you see what it's like to be me. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ.
Imagine getting multiple questions like this for 9 years in a row, bro.
Man.
Just imagine getting stupid fucking and then it's not only is that a stupid fucking question, it's also a snowflake question. So you tell people to watch the sub, but what if they're blind and they can't watch the sub? What should they do? Just not watch DBZ, or should they get closer to the TV? What do you say to that?
Look, if your greatest argument for the dub is that it helps the visually impaired, that's not a good argument for the dub. It's not a good argument.
You've made my case, my friend. Yes, you've made my case. All these squares make a triangle. Yes, that TFS did make fun of that. TFS did make fun of that. But that is a very snowflakey question, though, bro. Like, but again, Jordan, that's the shit that I deal with, that I've dealt with for 9 fucking years, bro. And that's not the first time I've gotten that question. I remember one time this guy was like, hey, I'm visually, I think I actually have a guy who watches my videos and is blind, like totally blind. And I'm like, I appreciate you watching, but if you're blind, how do you watch Dragon Ball? Because you can't even see the action.
Right.
How are you even watching Dragon Ball if you are blind?
Right.
So why would you ask me if a blind person should watch the dub? Like, it's you can't even, if you're blind, you can't see anything.
It's like you know what it feels like. It feels like virtue signaling for dubbies. It feels like it's like an excuse for like people to like. I don't know. It's just such a stupid. Like I don't even understand the logic behind it, other than trying to like grasp for straws. You know,
I'm
like it's
telling
just
you, bro. I have been dealing with this shit for 9.5 fucking years, dude. I'm telling you. That's why I'm burnt out, dude. I am burnt out on getting questions like that, dude. Why do you think I'm so angry all the fucking time, dude? Because motherfuckers,
yeah. Questions like that should explain to you why
um,
Danny has to give you tough love sometimes,
or
because like
thank you,
it,
bro.
it literally it's a perfect example of why some people need discipline in this world. Like it's like wow.
I cannot believe this guy just said, well, what about blind people? They can't read the subtitles. They can't fucking see the show. You know what? I got an idea. Find a copy of the manga in Braille. That's the best you're gonna fucking get, bro. You know? This guy said, I just came in and thought he was gonna say he's burnt out for making content after 9 years. Oh, I've been burnt out for making Dragon Ball content for like 3 years, brother. I've been burnt out for a while, dude. Bro, you must forget how many videos I make. At one time, I was making 10 videos a week. I am burnt to a crisp, but I'll be all right. Don't worry about me. Xavier said the reason why Kenobi destroyed Grievous was because he was master of Form 3 Soresu defense lightsaber style. That's why Windu sent him, not Anakin. Yes, I know, but none of that's in the movie. I know exactly what you're talking about. All that stuff's in the novelization, the extended lore, but it was not in the movie. And so you can say that's the explanation, but because that wasn't said in the movie, 99% of people who watch the movie have never read the book, and thus they're not going to know what it is.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was a troll question. It wasn't. See, that's the thing. When somebody asks a question like that, people are like, oh, it must be a troll question. Not always, bro. Not
No.
always. No, not always. So, anyways. So there's a big ass hole in the fucking arena. Big ass fucking hole. Goku should be dead. They can't find him. Turns out that he's in the sky. I'm impressed you can jump up this high in that instance. So as the beam went down, Goku jumped up and avoided it completely. But the problem now is we have no ring. Therefore, the first person who hits the ground is the loser.
Yeah, the
That's
tension here is insane.
right.
Insane.
Tension from Ten Shinhan. Making Danny feel like the way I am Eminem in the 90s. That was actually 2000 when that album came out. 2000. Which could be part of the 90s if you count it. Some people don't count the decade till like the first year. So like the 2020 started with 2021. Like some people, I'm not saying I do it, but some people do it that way. So like the new millennium is technically the year 2001 and not 2000, but everyone's different with that. So yeah, he's over here using binoculars to see what the hell's going on, and they're just floating there. And then he says, I can fly at will with my Bukujutsu. So he can fly. Ten Shinhan can fly. Goku cannot fly at this time. So, and there's a tiny bit of a logic hole here. In the previous tournament, Goku used his tail to spin like a helicopter and fly.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it here. That is a slight logic hole.
Yeah, it's a slight dissonant decision on Toriyama's part.
It's not. I mean, we have to call it like it is, bro. It's like he forgot. I mean, it just feels that way. So what happens is, however, instead of Goku doing that, he wants to win. So he starts a Kamehameha, trying to finish off Ten Shinhan in the sky. And he's saying, you must be desperate. It won't affect me one bit. But the big shocker here, and one of my favorite little twists, yes, we're past all that far too Sega for you. You may have to rewind the stream for that part. But he turns around and fires a Kamehameha in the other direction. It's supposed to give him a rocket type of boost. He flies back, and then that's the cliffhanger for the end of that manga chapter. And then chapter 134 up in the air. Now, if you notice, if you look at this cover art, they kind of spoil what's going to happen because Ten Shin Han and Chaozu are and Krillin, and they're all together.
They're in the cast, yeah.
They're in the cast now. So it's like Toriyama's kind of telling you, like, okay, these guys are going to stick around now.
That's awesome, too.
It is awesome, but it wasn't like that in the anime.
Right.
You wouldn't have known. You would have waited until it actually happened. So Goku uses the last amount of energy he had left on the Kamehameha. And he used it to propel himself forward to headbutt Ten Shin Han in a classic Goku move. And now he's basically hitting him in the air so that he comes down at a faster speed so that he hits the ground first. This is a very, like you said, this is a very tense scene, and I like it because it's tense. They're both
he did
down.
a good job building up to this.
And
also,
then,
I like how he's riding
I love
that.
the shark plane.
Because that's what Toriyama originally had Sun Wukong ride in the drafts for Dragon Ball.
Like the early unfinished, or what do you call it? The unreleased early designs.
Yeah,
he was more of an ape in that version. Like he looked like an ape. So he's up there to get a good look. They're both coming down. They're both coming down at a very fast rate, and it looks like Ten Shin Han's going to hit first. However, excuse me, a truck pulls up just in time. Goku ricochets off the truck and hits the ground seconds before Ten Shin Han. What a crazy, crazy, crazy finale.
It is. It really is.
Goku literally landed seconds before Ten Shin Han, and thus Goku is not the winner. Ten Shin Han is the winner. He is the champion. Goku is the runner-up yet again. And this time it wasn't even his fault. It was the damn fucking truck. I like that. I love the fact that Toriyama was so patient here and decided to have it to where Goku lost again, albeit by somewhat of a fluke, to run it back with the next tournament. I've always loved that about Dragon Ball. Maybe if I was younger and I was reading and watching it for the first time and I didn't know Goku won the last tournament, maybe it would have pissed me off. But because I got into Dragon Ball in weird orders, like I saw things out of order, it's not the same feeling, you know?
Here's why I don't get pissed off. Does Goku look pissed off?
When? Here?
Yeah.
Here? No, but hold on. Hold on a minute. Look at this. I binge watched Dragon Ball and I couldn't understand King Piccolo dying, not regenerating like Piccolo. Let's see. Did I not upload that? I did not upload it yet. Okay. I've done a video about this. I have done a video about this, be written. It's not up yet. It's a short. However, I'll give you the answer since you want to know. The reason as to why King Piccolo died and did not regenerate is because Piccolo was out of energy. In order to regenerate, you have to have ki, because it's a martial art. It is something the Namekians do, but it requires ki. Piccolo at that point had been fighting Goku for some time and was completely out of ki. When Goku punched through him, he had no energy left, so he could not regenerate. Instead, he used the last bit of energy to spit out the egg. So that's your reason. I got a short. I thought the video was already up, but I forgot that I haven't uploaded it yet. But I do have it ready to be uploaded. It's already been edited, so I think I'll be putting it up soon. Maybe even this week I'll put it up. Because that is a question we get a lot, like why didn't King Piccolo regenerate? And they don't actually say, like they don't actually explain, like, oh, he doesn't say, oh, I'm out of energy. It's something you have to pick up on because the guidebooks explain that Namekian regeneration requires energy, whereas Majin Buu and characters like that have a totally different physiology, so they don't need energy to regenerate. So
Right.
it's a different thing altogether.
But yeah, as I was saying,
I'm
like,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, bro.
it's all good. Goku's attitude right here is really what you should practice. Like, basically, like, the reason I don't get upset when Goku loses is because there's just no reason to get upset when Goku loses.
Yeah,
Goku,
Killmonger, he's not even upset.
Goku doesn't fight necessarily to win. He fights to improve himself as a martial artist. And so, this is a good thing for Goku because this just means that Goku has progress to make, which is why he's happy about it, So,
Yep. He's just happy that it was a good fight. But I mean, I'm sure there was some level of disappointment, but it wasn't. He didn't let it bother him because
he can still grow.
And at the end of the day, it wasn't like Tien Han cheated. Yes, Chaozu definitely did cheat for a part in the fight, but the last few parts of the fight was all him, bro.
Right.
Like Goku just let it go.
Was like, no cheating, So
yeah, no, that I agree, and that to me, I think Goku was happy to see that. I will say, and I've said this before during the Twitch stream. In the anime version, there's that extra scene where all those people from the tournament pick up Goku and Tien Han on their shoulders and like lift them up because they were the two winners, the two champions. And that's a very emotionally powerful scene that wasn't in the manga. So.
Yeah, I've seen that Fenyo piece. It's fire. I know what you're talking
Which
about.
Which Fenyo? Oh, what if Fan Art Piccolo regenerated from the wound? From the chest wound? Yeah, I know Fenyo. I haven't seen that piece, but I know Fenyo. This guy says that PyCon tournament was slept on. No, I don't think so. A lot of people like those episodes. Well, the people who watch Dragon Ball Z like those episodes. People who saw Kai never saw him.
Right.
I like how Mecha Jace. Did you mean to write the same thing twice? Because he wrote it twice, like back to back. I mean, I read it the first time, and so did you. But I think that was a mistake. I don't know if that was his mistake or
a mistake.
Or maybe the chat's being weird. I don't know. So at the end of the day, Tien Han is saying that he won by luck in terms of actual ability. I'm sorry to say, but I lost. And then Roshi says it's part of one's abilities too. Luck is part of one's abilities too. Goku managed to learn a lot from a master like you. That's right. How about we go eat? Goku and Tien Shinfan should eat themselves full and regain their power. I agree. So he has to get the Goku forgot the 4-star ball and the Nyoibo. So Krillin's gonna go get it for him. He's like, oh, you're probably tired. I'm gonna be a good friend and go get it for you. Now, this is another situation. We're gonna get to it in the next few panels where the anime version again did a better job because, and we'll get to it. We'll get to it. So here it's him talking to Chaozu and saying that he's talking to them saying, yeah, we betrayed our master, but we're not just going to jump on your side, at least not yet, even though they will. And then all of a sudden you hear, and then Goku hears Krillin's voice. Now, that is not how it was in the anime.
Yeah, in the anime, he like has a feeling, like he like sees Krillin walk away slowly, and he's like, "Huh, what?" Like he has like a strange feeling about it. Yeah.
Yeah. In the manga, you can hear Krillin screaming, and Goku overhears it and rushes to go help him. In the anime, he sees Krillin leaving, and then has like a vision of him like smiling, and then he gets a bad feeling, and then he finds him again. I like the anime version more because it's like Star Wars,
right?
And then he comes, and don't forget the music.
Right. Yeah.
I remember the anime version of this so well, bro. Kuririn, what happened? It was a monster. It stole a strange ball from that wallet over there in the tournament registry and ran away. The Dragon Ball in the registry? He's dead. Kuririn's been murdered. Dun dun dun.
This was such a crazy twist, bro. It's just such a crazy twist. Holy crap!
Can you imagine living in Japan in like '87 when this happened, bro?
Dude, that would have been insane. That would have been absolutely insane.
Because there's no way that you can go into this tournament arc and predict that somebody would actually be murdered by the end of it. You know?
Yeah, definitely threw everybody for a loop.
Yeah, it was. It was. I wasn't there in Japan, but I can only imagine it was crazy. And the only measurement that I have from this is, I've talked about this on Twitch before, but back in like 2015, 2016, I was with a girl and we watched Dragon Ball together, and Krillin became her favorite character. And when he died here, she was fucking pissed, bro. We're watching the anime. Remember, she had never seen Z. She had never seen anything of Dragon Ball except pictures. So she doesn't know anything. And when he died here, she was actually pissed off. She's like, I'm done with this fucking show. Like, she was mad, bro. You didn't tell me he was gonna die. I'm like, of course, I didn't want to ruin the shit. But yeah, like, and I feel like that show of emotion, kind of like how Killmonger earlier was mad that Goku didn't win the tournament, that just shows that they got you to care about the characters, and it just shows that it was a shocker to people who didn't know anything about he would be resurrected later. You know, nobody knew that back then. So in order to feel, you know, a sense of dread, you have to just put yourself in their shoes and remember there's no fucking way to bring them back yet. Well, there is, but we haven't seen it actually happen yet. And there's more deaths coming. So this is just the first of many deaths in this arc. Once again, though, the anime version of the Demon King Piccolo arc is much, much better. But we are going to start it on the next Mangalorian. We are done with Volume 11.
I am so unbelievably excited to get into the King Piccolo stuff because I've said it many times so far on this stream.
Yeah,
that's like my favorite section of Dragon Ball. So like I'm so unbelievably excited for that.
It's
gonna be awesome.
I still think the anime version is better, but it's peak, and the manga version won't take us that long to get through. I think the Piccolo arc is only 2 volumes.
Right.
I think because the last tournament is volume 14 and 15, or maybe 15 and 16. I don't remember. It's not very long, but it's fucked, bro. But it's a great great cliffhanger. I mean, because his best friend and training partner are dead, and then we're about to see Goku get really, really mad. He says Krillin died 3 times if you count GT, 4 if you count GT. No, he died 4 times if you count GT in the main timeline. If you count the other timelines, he would have died 3 more times, and then he also died in Super when Frieza blew up the Earth in Resurrection F before Whis reversed time. He died. I don't know if you want to count those. You don't have to count them, but if you're being technical about everything, Krillin died like a fuckload of times. If you count the other timelines, that means that Goku also died like 4 times or like 6 times or whatever. You know what I mean? Killmonger say he's Dragon Ball's Kenny. You know, I've heard that before. I've heard people say that before. I guess he's short and wears orange.
I think people just think that because he died. He has 2 of the most iconic deaths in the entire series. This,
yes,
and then whenever Frieza murders him. So it's like, he's just kind of known for dying due to that, you know. And then also whenever they fought the Saiyans, you know. So
it became a meme. He didn't die when they fought the Saiyans.
But he got wrecked. You know,
everybody got wrecked, which is why I like it. I like that arc because even Vegeta got wrecked. But you know, I don't know. Again, it depends if you count those other timelines. If you don't, then yeah, it was 4 times if you count GT and 5 if you count the Resurrection F time reversal. So I don't know. Does the Resurrection F time reversal count as a death? They did die, but time was reversed, so they ended up not dying. Like, does that count?
I mean, that's a question I don't even want to think about. That'll give me a headache. I don't even want to think about that.
Oh, Karama says that Krillin was in the bubble. He was. That's true. He's right. I know. I'm stupid. I'm thinking of fucking Yamcha. Yamcha fucking died when the Earth got blown up.
Yeah, the
by
main
Frieza.
person they focus on dying in Resurrection of F is Vegeta.
Yeah, but he didn't die.
Yeah,
I did a whole video explaining that. But yeah,
but they focus on
no,
it.
I got it mixed. I'm an idiot, bro. I got it mixed up with Yamcha. Yamcha is the one that died in the Resurrection F arc because he didn't go fight. If he did go fight, he would have been in the bubble with Whis and not died. So even when Yamcha stays out of fights, he fucking dies. That motherfucker gets into fights and he dies. Then the one time he says, "Nah, I'm good. You guys go fight Frieza," he still ends up dying, bro. You know what? He is a meme, bro. There's no way that's an accident, dude. It just can't be. It just can't be. You cannot tell me that isn't fucking wacky. That the one time he stayed out of fighting, he still died, dude. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
This motherfucker. Well, anyways, he's dead here. Coming up in the next stream, we're going to be covering the beginning of the Piccolo arc because this is really what kicks it off, including Goku meeting Tambourine, Yajirobe, some new people being introduced. It's not that long. We already counted Boo blowing up the planet. We already counted that. Krillin was already dead when that happened because Krillin died up on the heavenly realm, the lookout. Remember when Majin Buu left the room of spirit and time? Everybody dies in the Buu saga, bro. That's the joke of the Buu saga. Everybody dies except for Mr. Satan and his dog
God,
and Dende.
Mr. Satan, and
no, God
Goku.
is with. Oh, you mean Dende? Oh yeah, Dende
Yeah.
God. Yeah, right. Mr. Satan. Yeah, God and Satan are the only ones that don't die.
Yeah.
Why am I just realizing this now that it's God and Satan and the dog, which is God spelled backwards? That's it, bro. It's a conspiracy. This is a conspiracy. There's no way. You know what? Now you and I are gonna have to make a 25-minute video about Toriyama writing it like this and how it somehow relates to Journey to the West, bro. Mecha J said next arc Goku becomes an Avenger. Literally.
Yeah, he really does.
He really does. And I love him for it. So we're out of here, bro. Any final thoughts before we close out?
No, I had a blast. I'm really looking forward to the Piccolo stuff.
Me too.
See you guys next stream.
Yes, sir. All right. Take care, y'all. Have a good one. And I might be back this week. I'm going to put that Piccolo short up probably sometime this week. And yeah, we should be back next week for the Mangalorian, but I'll let you know. Have a good one, yo. Take care. God and the devil, yes.